Hello everyone. This is my review, and no, I'm not talking into this, so just ignore that. Of Nicki Minaj's Pink Friday 2, or Part 2, or however you want to look at it. Next, I'm going to review Kali Uchis, Sincerely PS, so that's coming soon. I wanted to go ahead and do this and get this out of the way. This album was a mid-album. It wasn't a bad album. It wasn't trash. It just wasn't good. So, let's start with Are You Gone Already? I gave the song a strong 6. I like introspective Nicki. I don't think there's many female rappers, modern day, who can do introspective songs. And if they are trying to, it's not like Nicki. So, I really liked it. I think it was about the death of her father and the arrival of her son. I think that was what the song was about. But I gave it a very strong 6. Barbie Dangerous, I gave a 4. It was a disappointing transition. And that's why my original opinion of this album when I first heard it, when it first came out, this is more like a mixtape than an album. It was very disappointing, like, transition for me. The song isn't bad, it's just not, I just didn't like the transition more than I didn't like the song, if that made any sense. Fuck the Club Up, or FTCU, I gave a 4. I could see why people like it. It's nothing really special about it, but it's like something to, you put it on if you want to get a little bit hype, be good in the club, Beep Beep, I gave a 5. I think her rapping was very, very good on the song. Her bars were very good, very on point. And even though, like, Barbie Dangerous was supposed to be like a nod or paying respect to Notorious B.I.G., her trying to do that flow did not work on that song, and I don't think it was as bar heavy as Beep Beep. Falling For You, I gave a 2. The intro for me was way too long, and that's what sort of killed it for me. Like, any chance of it getting a higher grade. Let Me Calm Down, I gave a 3. It's a very skippable song. R&B, I gave a 3. Another skippable song, nothing special. Pink Birthday, I gave a 5. And I believe this is the one, the sample, and I think I gave it a 5 mostly for the sample. Needle, I gave a 4, and was nothing special. Yeah, yes, it was another song with her and Drake on it, and I usually like those songs that they would do together, but I don't think either one of them was really trying to, like, their All Night song was amazing, great bars. This was just like, oh, let's try to be nostalgic. And it didn't work for me. Cowgirl, I gave a 3. I didn't like the beat. I didn't like whatever they were sampling. I didn't like anything really about this song. It wasn't trash. It's just like, I just didn't. It's a song. Everybody, I gave a 3. And mostly because I think this song has been the most overplayed from this album. And there was, again, nothing special about it, nothing unique about it. The bars weren't there. The punchlines weren't there, like on Beep Beep. And I don't like the use of the same. I didn't like this album specifically because it relied too much, in my opinion, on samples and trying to force nostalgia and force, I don't know, like for you to think of her as iconic because the samples are. And I know the first song, Are You Gone, already had like a Billie Eilish sample or something, but that didn't bother me as much because the overall song to me was good. Big Difference, I gave a 4. It's a good song. She's coming at people, but she's still rapping. She's still punchline. She still has bars in there. So I gave it a 4. Red Ruby the Sleaze, I gave an absolute 2. Because, number one, let's talk about this. That song wasn't good to begin with. Like, what she's sampling was not anything special to begin with. It was like off-key, not good singing, the original song. So then you try to make it, and yes, it's the Megan diss and all this other stuff that a lot of people laughed at, and it had bars that didn't make sense. Like, especially 700 horses when we're fixing to leave, but I don't fuck with horses since Christopher Reeves. When Christopher Reeves was injured by the horse, which would make, because she's referring to Megan as a horse, so that would mean Megan actually did damage to Nicki in some way that has changed her permanently, and not in a favorable way, in a very negative way. So that's sort of a backhanded diss, and it didn't go the way Nicki thinks she's very, very clever, especially in disses, and she's not as clever as she thinks she is. She's just not. Forward from Trini, I gave a 4. It wasn't a bad song. Bam Bam, I gave a 5. I actually do like this song. Pink Friday Girls, I gave a 3. Horrible use of relying totally on an actual iconic song, an actual iconic person, Cyndi Lauper, and yeah, Super Freaky Grandma or Super Freaky Girl got a -10. The song is trash. It just relied totally on Rick James' song. It wasn't good. Rest in peace to Rick James. My Life got a -10. We know why. Moving on. Nikki Hendrix got a 2. Nikki is nowhere near Jimi Hendrix in any way, shape, or form. Doesn't even play an instrument, so I don't really understand that. Blessings, I gave a 2. I did put this here because I scrabbled notes, and so all of her love songs on this album sounded the same, very samey, sound like borrowed lyrics in a sense, not from her other songs. I'm not saying samey in that way. I don't think they sound like anything she's done. I'm just saying it, like the lyrics from one, you could have literally fit in the next one, and you have the same song. That's what I mean. And a lot of it sounds like a virgin wrote it. Like it's weird, very, very weird. Cowgirl, especially, was just like it does sound like a 16-year-old girl who just had sex for the first time wrote it. Last Time, I gave it 2. Memories, I gave a 3. Last Time borrowed, I think, from a children's TV show, and Memories was just sort of like there. So I gave the album an overall 4. So the Barb should be happy. It's higher than Cardi's. I think it's even higher than Lil Wayne's. Is it? Or did I give him a 4 or 4 point something? Either way, on par or a little below Wayne's. And it would be that because Lil Wayne is a better rapper. But nothing special about that album. It doesn't play like an album, unlike Doja Cat's V. It plays like a mixtape. And I'm not saying that Cardi B's album necessarily played like anything, but Nicki did get higher than Cardi, so y'all should be happy with me. And it's going to anyway. She raps better than Cardi B. She can actually rap on beat. And she doesn't try to fit a lot of syllables where they're not going to fit. And it doesn't sound like a third grader wrote it. So, yeah. That was my review. Again, the next one's going to be Kali Uchis, Sincerely P.S. Note to viewer, that album blew everybody out the water. It was my highest rated review. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to do some albums that are not hip-hop. Not like forever. Like, not that I'm not going to do any more hip-hop. And I'm not saying like Doja Cat's was like Let God Sort 'Em Out type of album. But it's not going to be female rapper based albums. So I think I like other genres of music anyway, and I think people want to, I think there's too much hip-hop being reviewed at the moment versus different type of genres on YouTube and on social media in general. So that's my review, and I will see you all later.